students. So in the last class, we started with Russia as an economic power, how Russia has played an important role to rise in the world's economic power, and what is its role in the BRICS. So here we listed few terms such as Eastern Economic Forum that Russia initiated, expanding the trade agreements of Eurasian Economic Union. So what is basically Eastern Economic Forum? This is just to know what is it, okay? You don't have to study actually about all these in detail, okay? This is just a shorthand knowledge that you have to know about all these. What is Russia's role in BRICS, what is BRICS, what is SAARC, what is the role of India as an economic power. Okay, so what is Eastern Economic Forum? Eastern Economic Forum is held each year in Russia for the purpose of encouraging foreign investment in the far eastern part of Russia. Okay, now Eurasian Economic Union. Eurasian Economic Union is an economic union of states that are located in the Eastern Europe, Central Asia and West Asia. This is to increase a closer economic cooperation. Okay, now it introduced a Greater Eurasia project where in 2016 for the expansion of SCO, that is Shanghai Cooperation Organization, students, for the annual BRICS meeting, informal BRICS leaders summit, and the revival of RIC leaders meeting on the sidelines of G20. So RIC leaders are your Russia, India and China leaders who are meeting on the sidelines of G20. G20 is an international forum for the governments and the central bank governors from 19 countries and the European Union. Okay, in 1999 it met to discuss the policies pertaining to the promotion of international and financial stability. Okay, so talking about all these, it actually indicates Russia's continued involvements in policies designed to position itself as an important power in the creation of a multipolar world order. Right, I hope I'm clear with this. Now next comes key strategic objectives. Why is Russia a part of BRICS? What are its objectives? So that is to reform the international monetary and the finance system, to expand the foreign policy cooperation with BRICS partners. This is all done to enhance the character of Russian foreign policy, to strengthen its international positions, right, and to promote bilateral relations through BRICS. Okay, to also show its presence all over the world in getting itself aligned with various cooperative initiatives where various cooperative institutions, organizations, that is just done to show its presence. Russia is trying to make its enormous presence as far as possible, as much as possible in the world. Okay, and this involvement of BRICS has helped Russia to initiate regular contacts, okay, especially in case of Brazil and South Africa. Okay, these are more about the strategic objectives. Okay, as far as the Russian president noted that Russia's trade with BRICS countries reached $125 billion in 2018, and similarly you see the benefit of intra-BRICS trade, which the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called for. That has also been less than apparent in the case of Russia economic ties with other countries. Now this is just to have a knowledge, okay? You don't have to learn these in general, okay, to make your answers more creative, to make your answers more updated rather. It is given for you. Okay, let's move ahead with the next thing, that is SAARC. Now SAARC, students, SAARC is the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. This is a regional, intergovernmental and geopolitical union of the states. What is intergovernmental? Related to or conducted between two governments. All right, what is a geopolitical union? It's related to politics, especially international relations, which is getting influenced by geographical factors. These are certain terms that you must know when you are studying world politics. Okay, these are going to come again and again: geopolitical, intergovernmental, right? So the member states of SARC were there. It was formed with Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Afghanistan is the recent addition, students. Okay, now the idea of regional cooperation in South Asia was first raised in November 1980. It was after the consultation that the foreign secretaries of the 7 founding countries, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka, they met for the first time in Colombo in April 1981. Okay, the foreign ministers, with their meetings in New Delhi in August 1983, they adopted the declaration, okay, on SARC, and they formally launched the integrated program of action, that is IPA, in the 5 agreed areas of cooperation. Now, what were those areas? Please note it down. They were agriculture, rural development, telecommunications, meteorology and health and population activities. Okay, now Afghanistan became the newest member of SARC at the 13th annual summit in 2005. Okay, so the SARC was founded in Dhaka on 8th of December 1985. Its secretariat is based in Kathmandu, Nepal. This organization is there for promoting regional integration, economic integration. Okay, there has been a part of it, that is SAFTA. Okay, that is South Asian Free Trade Area, in 2006. So SARC is basically there to maintain regional cooperation, integration, economic integration. It maintains permanent diplomatic relations at UN as an observer, and it has developed links with the multilateral entities including the European Union. Okay. Now let's move on to its purposes and what has been the developments recently. Now SARC seeks to promote the welfare of the people of South Asia. It is there to strengthen the collective self-reliance, collaboration, cooperation with regional organizations. Okay, now the 14th summit of SARC was held on 3rd and 4th April, that is, it welcomed there the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan and as a full-fledged member of SARC. Okay, I told you that Afghanistan is a recent addition. Okay, now Iran, China, Japan, European Union, Korea, United States of America, they are all welcomed as observers. Okay, the heads of the state or government, they realize the importance of controlling terrorism, calling on deepened cooperation, involvements, improvements in the implementation of SARC Regional Convention. This is all for the regional issues. Now, in general, if I go on reading these, it won't help you, right? You try to understand that what has been the regional issues, students. Terrorism, climate, right? Population, poverty. So they have met at one place in order to talk about this, in order to control these. Okay, the member states have continued to talk about the importance of achieving a comprehensive convention on international terrorism, because international terrorism is the problem of the world. Okay, as I've told you about SAFTA earlier itself. Okay, so this introduction has created a free trade area for 1.6 billion people in all these founding countries, member countries. Okay, and this agreement came into force on January 1, 2006 and is operational following the ratification of the agreement. Now the recent summit, this part is very interesting. The 19th SARC summit was a scheduled diplomatic conference, but it got cancelled. Why? Because it was scheduled to take place in Islamabad, Pakistan in 2016, but it got cancelled after an attack on Indian Army camp in Kashmir. I hope you are very much updated with this. Okay. Okay, students, this 2007, it must be a misprint over here. So I'm sorry for that. Let's move ahead. Now let's come to the role of India. India as part of BRICS, India's role in SAARC as well. Now India is home to 1/6 of the global population, right? India has sustained a democratic ethos, its democratic principle, and a foreign policy which defines not only national interest but also it is trying to maintain peace, it is trying to strengthen its relations with the developing world and the developed world as well. Okay, the first BRICS summit was held in 2009 when there was a global recession. Since then, India has assumed the role of a trade facilitator. India needs BRICS to be stable for trade to flourish, which is also why peacekeeping in trade regions like the Mediterranean, North Africa, Indian Ocean is important. Aren't we have been helping the Tibetans fight for freedom? We are providing aid and refuge to the Rohingyas, right? Under Operation Insaniyat, if you remember, India provided a total of 7,000 tons of relief material to the refugees in Bangladesh. Okay, so such has been the role of India. The forum's analysts, they called India as the best performing economy in South Asia and as an engine of growth in the region. India was the first country to initiate global action in the fight against COVID-19 by convening the meeting of the SAARC nations. Okay, and there has been various purpose also why India is a part of BRICS. It is there to help it in geopolitics because India has to take a stand. India has to take a diplomatic stand with while conducting its relations with US, with China, with Russia. So this platform of BRICS, it also provides it a platform where it can take its own safe position. And the same provides for SAARC as well. It also helps it in maintaining the global economic order. It gives, India is actually acting as a voice of developing nations. And again, this provides a platform for combating terrorism, for taking steps to combat terrorism. It gets support from the BRICS members and from the SAARC members as well. We have just discussed about SAARC main important reason of meeting. So member states have continued to stress on achieving comprehensive convention on international terrorism. Understood? So that has been the role of India. Okay, so this is all about your present chapter, that is chapter number 4. Okay, ideally it is chapter number 3 as per the syllabus, but it is as per your book. Okay, now in this chapter you also have to study about Israel, but since you have to study about Indo-Israel relations, that is a relation between India and Israel, in book 2 we will continue with Israel in as a whole in that chapter. Okay, so this is it for your alternative or new centers of power. Students, we started with European Union, we did ASEAN, we studied about China as the rising economy. Okay, then we studied about BRICS, we also studied about Russia, we also studied about the Indo-China relations at present, getting in touch with a recent update that was about the wars, that was about the Galvan Valley between India and China, right? We studied about BRICS, we studied about the important role of Russia, its objectives. Then we dealt with SAARC. What is SAARC? What are its purposes? Okay, how successful it has been and why it is there, right? What is the role of SAFTA? When I talk about how successful has it been, we can talk about SAFTA. Okay, and then finally we dealt with the role of India. Okay, so this part, that is a BRICS, is to just give you a handful knowledge of what is BRICS, why it is in existence, okay, and what is the role somewhat of India into it, okay, in short. All right, okay. In the next class, we'll start with a new chapter, that is your next chapter, that is South Asian relations. Okay, if there is anything that is to be covered in this chapter, we shall continue that also in the next class. Now if you have any problem, do let me know. Okay, thank you students.